everyone, Neen Cohen here. This will be getting put up on the Hyperactive Bookworm. Just here today to talk to Tim Mendees about his novella Spiffing. So Tim's just about to join us here, and I'll bring on the man himself.
Ta-da!
There we go. Welcome, Tim.
Hello. Cheers for having me, Neen. Thanks.
No worries. Thanks so much for doing this. Yeah.
Pop your eye sticks open, eyeballs open, and then matchsticks, man. What is it there now?
So, for anyone watching, I'm in Australia, so it's a lovely, 9 a.m. here. Poor Tim is stuck. Whereabouts exactly are you?
I'm in the southeast of England at the minute, so
yeah. So it's midnight there for the poor bugger.
Midnight.
Yeah, just past midnight. Poor Tim. But
poor me, nothing. I'm having a great night.
Yes, I've already had 2 coffees. I've already had 2 coffees this morning. I'll be having another one very soon. Sorry, I'm just rock and rolling with my computer. All right, so all right, excellent. So I'm just going here at the moment. Cool. So just waiting for a few more people to rock up, and then we'll get going. All good. All right.
All good.
It's all good.
Like seriously, I earlier today, you're on about the coffees, because like I was telling you before in the messenger that I've always worked in catering, so I'm used to split shifts. So I've basically worked today like a catering shift. I did the morning. I went for a nap. I woke up. I had about 5 coffees, and now I'm sort of bouncing off the walls like Tigger on speed. Yeah, I'm having a great night. I'm chilling out, listening to Depeche Mode, having a beer. It's all good.
I did say the Depeche Mode thing. I was like, excellent. Good spirits for
probably my favourite band. The first band I was ever in was called Black Celebration, and we were basically a glorified Depeche Mode tribute band, and we were awful. We were terrible. Well, there you go.
Isn't that the way it's supposed to be, though? Come on.
Exactly. Yeah, we were at school, man. I mean, of course, how bad you have at school is going to be dreadful, isn't it?
That's awesome. All right, so today we're actually talking about, well, theoretically, we're talking about your novella Spiffing. Yeah. Look, I was lucky enough to get an art copy of this. And honestly, I loved it. But I'm going to get you, to just give us a brief rundown of what it is about. Basically your words of the synopsis.
Right, yeah. Here it is.
Yay!
I still haven't got my author copies yet, hence why I'm still using the proof. They were supposed to turn up today, but Amazon is being really crap in the UK at the minute. I'm supposed to get a big bunch of them. Because I'm doing some signed copies and all that kind of business, but I've still got the proof. I love that cover. But I was asked to sum it up in a few words, and my words were: this was my idea of what a love child between Agatha Christie, P.G. Wodehouse, and H.P. Lovecraft would have been. This is the ugly monster that would have been spawned.
It has such awesome vibes of Agatha Christie. And I also thought Cluedo. There's this sort of Cluedo concept in it, like, Mrs. So-and-so in the library with the candlestick. It had
I was going for that. And I mean, when I was writing it, I was going for all the tropes, because I love that, and I love the Christie and all that. That's why there is the guy who's gone mad and he's juggling goldfish, and he babbles, "The butler did it."
It was brilliant, and that's the best thing about what I love about your writing. It's this dark, twisted, tentacle love mixed with this just absolute, brilliant British, and I say Aussie because British and Aussie humour are so intertwined.
Oh, of course they are. Yeah,
and I love it. I love it because it's such a great balance between the two. So it's fabulous. And anyone watching, if you have not read this book, go get it. It is
Yeah, please.
fantastic. There we go. Hey, there we go. There you go.
Yeah,
I did
hey,
it.
oh yeah,
I
excellent.
did
Well done.
it.
Yeah.
Getting all professional or something. I don't know.
Oh no! So the first time I did that, I did a lap of honor around the flat because
Yeah.
if you saw my early videos, it was all on bits of cardboard with a Sharpie.
Yes. So absolutely go get Spiffing, but it is so fantastic. So it's a novella.
Yep.
So it's a short read. But it's so much fun, guys. Honestly, I laughed my ass off with it. And then
that's a lot of the feedback I'm getting is that one minute people were
just
laughing their asses off, and the next minute they were going, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Well, that's
like,
what
this
I
is
want.
funny. Hang on,
That's what I
no.
want.
This is a bit. I'm stepping away again. Okay. But the characters are so great. Like you sum them
Right.
up so well and so
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah.
Where did the idea come from? Like I know you said it's a mix of this, but was it for a call out or was it just
Yeah, well, it was one of it was one of the first things that became my trait in writing. Is it was for a call that was about it was 2020, so it was all about the 20s, right? It was done last year.
cool?
But the
Yeah, yeah.
limit was but the word count was 3,000 words,
Of
and
course.
I hadn't even finished the first chapter. So I was kind of like, so I put it aside for a bit and just went, right, this has got legs. I'm just gonna put this aside. And I wrote another story called What the Butler Saw, which is very similar. It's another one that's very Woodhouse influenced. It's a Randy Butler and all this kind of business, peeking through the keyhole, and that worked much better in that sort of 3,000 word format. That's going to be in my short story collection that's coming out later in the year.
Cool.
But Spiffing, I just started writing it and I was like, yeah, no, this is going to be longer and I'm just going to have some fun with this. I think how it came, because of that, and I'd been reading a lot about the strange parties that people used to have. It's like the Victorians used to have pineapple parties. Yeah, seriously.
I don't even know where to go with that.
Yeah, because pineapples were rare and exotic, right? So it was a sign of status to turn up at a party with a pineapple. That's why a lot of Victorian architecture has got bloody pineapples in it. If you look, and but the other one was mummy parties, where these rich guys would buy like cadavers and unwrap them at the parties.
Oh my god, that's just
Yeah.
twisted. And
Yeah, but that was a
David's here.
thing. That was a
David's
real
here to
thing.
say hello and to remember when he was Tim's butler.
Oh yeah. Jeeves Green.
Hey, David.
Hello, matey. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Even. Hello. And yeah, so I was reading all this stuff about all these bonkers parties, and I thought, all right. And yeah, and it just all came together in my head with the kind of, and that's where the names are all a bit like Mrs. Simpson and Mr. Partridge and all this kind of.
Yeah,
that was
I thought they were fantastic.
Yeah. And, do you remember the TV show they did of Cluedo? I don't know if you got it over there.
Yeah, we did.
Well, that was brilliant.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And that's what the book reminded me of. I was just like, oh my god, all I could see is Agatha Christie and Cluedo joined together, and
obviously the Lovecraft.
Yeah. So, and for those who haven't read it, it's an ensemble cast, and you get all these different characters and personalities, and each one of them has just some dirty kind of layer.
Oh yeah.
And it's fascinating when you get these little snippets of backstory for each of the characters, and I think those were the things that they entertained me the most. It was just these.
Oh, excellent! Thank you.
Yeah. These explanations of the characters, and I loved it because you could already, as you're explaining the characters, you could already see how they're going to clash or how they're going to kind of not handle what the hell's happening in this house. And, and it was just brilliant. But yeah, there were so many times where it reminded me so much of that, but with, of course, the Tim Mendees flair. Which, dark, creepy, elder gods, it's all there.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Has to be somewhere, doesn't it? It's just like...
Absolutely. I'd be disappointed if it wasn't, really. I think I'd be shocked.
Oh God, yeah. I remember I was doing a live reading once, and you were watching live, and it got right to the end, and then a tentacle appeared, and you went, "There it is!"
There it is! Yeah. I was like, "Come on!
Live
I'm
on
hanging out for the tentacle." Yeah.
Tentacle. Yeah. No, I'm glad you enjoyed that, because I was in two minds when I was first writing it, because you a lot of modern stuff doesn't tend to have them character flashback.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I mean, it has been mentioned in a couple of reviews. They were good reviews, but it has been mentioned that it was a sort of quite an old-fashioned way of doing it. But that was, again, that's what I was going for.
Yeah, I assumed that was definitely intentional for the whole 20s theme.
Yeah. I mean, that's and because I think everything's now a bit more MTV, isn't it? It's all a bit. Everything has to be a lot quicker, and you don't have. It's a lot. I mean, there was a lot more telling than showing in the past, and there's a lot more showing than telling now.
Yeah.
But I just thought it fit the style to have pretty much a cliffhanger at the end of a chapter or the end of a scene, leave it somewhere sort of grisly and nasty, and then cut back to Sylvia Lexington Brown,
yes,
the belle of the ball, and do that whole sort of Agatha Christie introduction, that whole. But again, because I'm a huge fan of P.G. Wodehouse, and a lot of that is in there. I mean, somebody spotted. I mean, there's no like it was no accident that the guy behind the whole cock up, his name was Bertie, because Bertie Wooster, and the funny thing is, I'm actually watching Jeeves and Wooster again at the minute.
Oh wow!
I've got the DVD collection. I love it. It's great. I put it on earlier today, and I was just like, great, here we go. So expect some more of that kind of stuff out of me very soon.
Excellent. Oh no, I think it's brilliant. And yeah, I really enjoy your writing, the way it flows and stuff, and the old school feel of it. It's a nice change, to be honest.
It's just what I read. I mean,
yeah.
It's that thing, isn't it? Right, what you know, and I guess my taste in pretty much everything are antiquated. I mean, look at me, fallen out of 1986. It's just like,
oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I am. I'm sort of lost somewhere, but it's what I kind of read. And when I first started out, I like every author does, he struggled to get anything picked up and things like that. And I got to a point where I was like, oh, well, maybe if I start doing this, and I start changing I started to change the way I wrote. And I got like a couple of stories into it, writing in this sort of way that I perceived I should be writing. And I was just like, no, I fucking hate this. I hate it.
And that's it. You've got to enjoy it.
I threw it away, and I just went, I have some tentacles. And all of a sudden, people are like, it's working. Okay. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. Okay.
No, absolutely. I think that's the best advice ever, because you've got to enjoy it, or what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of it. And I did something which a lot of newbie writers do, is they go on a lot of these critique groups, and some of them can be brutal.
Yes.
I mean, oh man, some of them I see them now. I look at some of the responses people are getting, and it's just like, mate. And some of this stuff, it isn't at all helpful.
No.
But I'm lucky in a way, because my partner has a master's in English, and she's also a big fantasy reader. She's not a big reader of horror. But she watches like all the crap that I make her watch and all that. So she knows. And so basically, I think by osmosis, she's into the Cthulhu mythos just because, like, you kind of have to be, or you go
How
crazy.
can you not pick it up when you're around Tim?
Yeah, you'd have to be, or you go bonkers. I mean, look, there's octopus everywhere. And she's really like, no, look, right, you do it. What you're doing is right. That's right. That's fine. You just need to figure this out. And I was like, oh, right, okay. And once I started, like, because I left school when I was 16 and became a chef. But I was always a big writer when I was at school, and I'd always written in the back of like work diaries. I made stories about like all the waiting staff and all the people. I gave them all an animal. It was a bit like a really disturbing version of the animals of Farthing Wood, you know, like Mr. Badger is shagging Mrs. Squirrel in the cellar, you know. Well, maybe not quite that bad, but you know what I mean. But I completely when I started writing again, like properly, I completely didn't know what I was doing. I was just words, page, just get the story out. And I think that's another bit of advice I would have for people is do that. Just get the story out. Grammar, things like that. They will, if you're trying to write and you're analyzing every word you're saying, like
you're never going to get it out.
Finished. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
So I think I just needed to do that because for so many years I was like, I can't write. I don't know grammar. I don't know this. I can't even spell properly half the time. I don't know. So I didn't do it. And then I just did it one day and it just sort of went, yeah.
No, that's the best advice ever. Too many people get caught up with this whole idea that they need to have done so many classes or courses or have a piece of paper and all that thing, when in the end, that's why you have a team. Before you publish anything. It's never, even self-publishers, it's never just them. They have editors and they have, critiquers and they have beta readers and all that stuff for that, because no one person can have all that knowledge. They just can't.
No. So, I mean, I just think ideas, and I just concentrate on that. And it's like I'm a fan of the stuff of yours that I've read, because you again, you get no. It's weird. It's weird that you can feel that. It sounds pretentious, but there's a spark to it.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's I hope what people feel about mine. I mean, there's like a spark to it. There's life to it. It's not just going by numbers.
Yes, no.
It's the idea first, and then and everything else.
Yeah, and it
characterization.
You can feel it. It's very tangible when you read. Your writing. It is very tangible. You can see the characters. You can smell the weird ass smells that are always in there.
Brilliant. Yeah. I use a lot of smells in my thing because as senses go, that's
olfactory.
I do always make a point of that. Kind of, it's unconsciously, I just do it because I'm one of those people that I'll get a smell like walking down the street and it'll take me back to childhood.
Yep.
And 9 times out of 10, it's linked with a song. For some reason, because I'm one of them people who always had music, like headphones or whatever. So it'll always remind me of a tune. So I'll end up getting these random songs in my head. And I was like, how the hell did that even pop in my head? And it's because I walked past a chip shop at a certain time of the day and smelt Savoy or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The subconscious mind is weird.
Oh, it's brilliant though. And that's and that's what as writers we tap into. We tap into those things that a lot of the time you don't consciously think about. So it's connecting those things for people. And I think it was about halfway through the book and I was like, what the hell has just happened in Spiffing? And I was like, what the hell? Oh my God. And
My
then from
work
there,
here is done. As long as
yes,
I've got that reaction, that's the
yeah,
reaction I wanted.
exactly. And then honestly, the second half, I was like, yep, nope, nothing else matters. Yep, have another candy, kid. I don't care. I need to finish this because it was just like, yeah, you just this. I was seriously, I seriously had to actually say out loud. I was like, "What the hell?" And I couldn't finish it. Like I couldn't finish it fast enough. I was like, "What the hell? I need to know what the hell is going on," because I thought I figured out what was happening, and I was like, "Well, fine, shit," and it just all changed. And
I'm so glad you
was,
said that. It was really funny because a lot of the reviews have said that. That yeah, yeah, yank the rug out from under. I'm so glad
yeah,
it worked. I'm so
it
glad it
did.
worked because I was doing it and I planned as much as I plan because I'm a pantser. I don't really plan, but in my head I plan it.
Yep,
I don't start writing until it's sort of there, and then I just start writing and it sort of goes there.
yep,
I don't know how to
yeah.
explain my creative process. It's just I write in an almost kind of stream of consciousness sometimes. It just kind of I'll just sort of it's almost like automatic writing. I'll just go and then I just have to edit it in the morning. Oh brilliant, there's a story.
And anyone
Um,
who's read any of your things and goes, right, the Elder Gods really are channeling through Tim. He's just,
this is it. You're all screwed.
yeah,
It's like brain worms, isn't it? It's all
yeah,
like off the page and into your brain. Yeah.
pretty much,
Oh,
yes.
I don't know. I've been asked that so many times. Like, how do you come up with these things? I don't know. It just happens.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like it can be nothing and the smallest thing and you go off in the biggest tangent and that's the best thing about it all.
That's
But
pretty much
yes,
my writing career right there.
yeah,
Random tangents. The
with
amount
really
of
big
times I've
word
started out
counts.
writing a story about one thing that's over here somewhere, and then
Yeah.
I've ended up completely over there somewhere, and it's talking about something else.
Yeah.
And just cut the beginning bit and just go, well, let's go with that bit. Fine.
Oh, I
Oh
love it.
no.
Oh,
Yeah, but I'm really so I've been kind of blown away by the response to Spiffing because I had a very, very, very positive, like incredibly positive response to my first novella, Burning Reflection.
yes, I
But
loved that.
that's a more very traditional Lovecraftian. It's almost gothic horror. But that
Yes.
was what I was going for at this time, and I was kind of thinking in my head that this one was going to be a bit more Marmite, if you know what I mean. I
Yes.
honestly did because I guess I always have in my head I've got a kind of very strange inbuilt defense system. As soon as I submit something, I convince myself it's going to get rejected because it's crap.
Oh.
So when it doesn't get rejected, I'm over the moon. And if it does
Yeah.
get rejected, I'm like, told you so.
Defense mechanism. Yep.
It's a defense
Coping
mechanism. I'm
mechanism
sure of it. I
with a
like seriously.
with a
Oh,
really bad twist of imposter syndrome going in there.
oh
There.
mate, no, I have it all the time. Seriously, imposter syndrome is something I really struggle with. I like every morning I wake up with somebody's gonna like come bursting through the window and go, fake.
Yeah, fraud. I finally
Not
discovered
real.
you. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I totally get
Oh,
it. Totally get it. Like some of the, you know, there's authors out there that I've spoken to who have like a dozen books out there and still
mm,
have the same problem. So, hey, you're in with the
yeah,
crowd, man. It's all good.
yeah, it's yeah. But I mean, I've just been really happy with the responses and the like
That's
the
good.
comments I've had on it. It's all been like excellent. It's like all because it was one of those things when I was writing it. You know yourself when you're writing something, you can see it in your head,
Absolutely.
and you know how it's supposed to impact somebody, like a twist or something like that. You know how you want it to impact somebody, whether
Yeah.
it does or not
Yeah.
is anybody's bloody guess.
Yes.
It's just like,
Yes, it is.
oh, So I'm just happy that people like 2 or 3 people have gone, oh, I didn't see that coming. It's like, excellent.
It was brilliant. It was so good. So anyone, like, guys, if you haven't read this book, honestly, it's such a fun and twisted little read. And it channels the dark gothic horror, but then it does channel the Agatha Christie, the Cluedo. It's got it all in there, and it's just this wonderful, wonderful mix of so many things. And so it starts at a party in the 20s, and then from there, Tim likes to mess with your head a lot.
That's kind of the best blurb we could have had. We should have had that on the back. It starts at a party, and then Tim Mendees fucks with your head.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he just turns around and goes, "Ha ha! How's your head going? It's okay. Yeah. Let's fuck with it a bit more."
Excellent.
Yeah. So that's
yeah, like you can see that. I don't think I've smiled this much in ages, like recently, because it's like seriously, I want to ruin my gothic sort of my character.
Your gothic brand.
He's smiling, and it's like, what the hell? But no, it's like, yeah, I'm just really happy that people are getting what I was going for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's not very traditional, I don't think, in any shape or form.
Honestly, part of me loved that so much more that it wasn't. You know, there's a lot of the similar that you read. And I'm not saying that, that's all bad or anything, but sometimes it's nice to change things up.
Oh, no, yeah.
And this is one of those things that just kind of went, wah, completely different. I love it. And, yeah, it was brilliant. And, yeah, the writing was great as well. Like, it wasn't just the stories of the characters, it's the writing, and you get sucked into it and you get the rug ripped out from you, and it's fabulous.
Thank you. I'm just, like I say, I'm one of them, but I'm not very good at taking compliments. I just sort of sit there and go, thank you. And you can see if I weren't wearing if I wasn't wearing like lots of setting powder, I'd be bright red right now.
Damn it, that's the goal next time. Get Tim blushing.
Well, I am. It's just underneath all the makeup, so you can't see it.
Damn it. Bloody makeup.
Bloody goths.
Yeah.
The thing is, of a lot of the things I've written, Spiffing has got to be one of the most fun. I'm just glad people are enjoying it as much as I did writing it, because honestly, I was cackling like a demented hen while I was writing some of them death scenes. I was like, whoa.
But you can tell that you enjoyed it. When you're reading something, if there's parts where the author's struggled through it because you're struggling through it. And you can tell it was an enjoyable experience to write because it was so much fun to read.
Yeah. It was one of those where I just kept going, oh, I'm going to put that in. Oh, I'm going to put that in. I'm just going to, we need to put that in. The most
random things you can imagine. Let's just drag those in.
Yeah, but that's my writing style all over. I don't have a ridiculous filter. I've never once thought in any of my stories, I can't put that in. That's too ridiculous. I don't. Yeah, bring it on.
The more ridiculous, the better.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's become my style in a way. I'm just like, it's just absolute. Again, that's another I would say, like, you see a lot in these groups and things like that. Oh, don't use tropes, don't use this, don't do that, and then all the rest of it. I'm just going to do it. A friend of ours, Emma Ledley, did a review the other day, and the first thing she said to me when she picked it up was, "Well, I'm one line in, you've already broken a rule. You opened it talking about the weather." but I wanted to invert that. I wanted to start it on a bit of a punch in my own little random way. And
Yeah.
you pick up an Agatha Christie and you'll read the line, "It was a dark and stormy night."
Yeah.
So I started it with, "It was a bright and tranquil evening." It's just like, let's invert a trope for the begin with.
Yeah,
Oh,
hey,
you know,
that's the fun of it, isn't it?
yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, I love doing that. I mean, and that's what I really enjoyed about Spiffing, because I just let rip with that one.
Yes.
Um, I really did. Um, I'm so happy. I'm so happy with like that he got picked up in the first place, because because I can just imagine some like if I sent it to some publishers, they just, what in the hell
What
is
the
this?
hell? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You've got to find the right publisher for your story, though.
Yes, yes, exactly. Which is another thing I've told a lot of people. Like, they get very disheartened. Oh, I sent it to here and I sent it to there. It's like, well, they're obviously not looking for that kind of thing at the moment.
Yeah.
They might be in the future, but they're not right now.
Or it just may not be appropriate for that publishing house either.
Exactly, exactly. Oh man, I've had some hilarious. I've had some hilarious bloody rejection letters. I tell you, they were like, very good story, very well written, but what the hell is probably the best one I've ever had. Right? It was about a story called "I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside," and it was just like, very well written, good story, but what the hell? That was it. That was my rejection letter.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
And we're gonna have it framed.
Yeah.
That one's actually going to be in my short story collection. So we'll see if anybody else.
Excellent.
What the hell?
So you've got the short story collection. Is that coming out this year?
Yeah. We're mostly the way through the editing process now. Obviously,
Oh,
it takes a
nice.
long time to edit a short story collection. It's going to be 18 stories.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, and it's and 7 of those are new to the volume. That I wrote specifically for it, and
Yeah.
it's going to be called "The Pseudopod That Rocks the Cradle." You wait till you see the cover. Deidre J. Owen has done the cover for it, and it's absolutely brilliant.
Oh, when are we going to get to see that?
It's Madison Press who put out Burning Reflection.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, they picked that up. They've also picked up the sequel to Burning Reflection, Boiling Shadow, which will be later again, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So what are you actually working on now? I know you've got the editing of the short stories, but are you writing anything else at the moment?
What I'm writing at the minute.
Now I've put him on the spot.
No, it's like I just finished something yesterday, and I'm like, I'm writing. I'm writing a story. It's it's for an invite anthology. Sorry, excuse me.
Have a drink. You're fine.
Yeah, it's the bloody it's hay fever. It just kills me this time of year. It really does. It's like the back of my throat things like somebody sandpapered it.
Oh, fun. There you go. There's something to throw into a story.
Yeah. It's slugs in the sinuses, sandpaper up the thorax. Yeah. It's an invite only thing, and it's Cthulhu mythos. So I'm doing I'm writing a thing set in the mid-90s about a goth band that somehow contacts Yog-Sothoth. That's what I'm writing at the minute.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, the industrial stuff, the banging and the resonance and all that.
Yep.
It's what I listen to. It's just like, oh yeah, Yog-Sothoth.
So I just seen a comment from David, and I have no idea what it's in relation to. Tell us, David, what is this in relation to? I did that to you yesterday, Tim, and let me tell you, we've spoken about a lot of things, David, and I'm a little disturbed.
Shh. people are watching.
Oh my god, I love it.
He's the worst kiss and tell you could ever have. You know what I mean?
If there's anyone here who
Tabloid.
hasn't been introduced to the Tim and David banter before, honestly, the two of them together, you could just sit back and just laugh your ass off, because the shit that comes out of their mouths is brilliant, and highly entertaining. So
it has been noted that we are basically the horror, the indie writing equivalent of Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, I haven't heard that. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Oh, I think we need to like draw up little Beavis and Butthead versions of you two.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. Yeah.
Ah, here we go. Thank you, David. Burst through his window and called him a freak. It's his alarm call. He makes me do it.
Yeah, I'll make sure I've got the covers off me at the time. Just to, either that or put them over and pretend I'm a tent. You know, the covers.
Oh my god.
Hold your fingers up like that and put the covers over you. So, here we go.
This is hilarious.
Here we go. Yeah.
Midnight Tim Mendees. I'm just sitting back and laughing my ass off.
It's not my fault. It's all the fault of the beer pixies.
Yeah, the beer pixies, sure. I can't imagine pixies near you unless they're like goth rock and roll type pixies, man. Because little green flowery things, it just doesn't sit right, all right?
Nah.
All right.
Imps, I think it'd be more my kind
that would
of
be
style.
more your cup of tea.
Beer
All right.
Yeah.
Should probably let Tim finally go and get some sleep.
What's that?
Or, bounce around a bit more on the caffeine.
Yeah, probably. I've had so much coffee. I'm going to be all bloody night.
Oh, this has been awesome.
Thank you.
Again, for anyone watching, if you haven't read Spiffing, go get it. And also, Tim, how do people find you?
Stalk me. Yeah. Stalk me. It's Tim Mendees WordPress. No. Tim Mendees writer.wordpress.com. Yeah.
All right.
I think that's it. Hang on, I'll look in the back of the book.
There you go. Go buy the book and you'll be able to find a way to stalk Tim.
Yeah.
I will put Tim's website down on the comments underneath once I get it, make sure that it's correct. And and thank you so much, Tim, for joining us today.
Oh, thank you, Neen. This has been brilliant. Thank you for waking up that early on a Saturday morning. You won't get me doing that on a Saturday morning. I ain't moving for no bugger on a Saturday morning. Yeah.
It is all good. And thank you so much. And good luck with all the rest of the writing.
Thank you very much.
Can't wait.
Thank you, Neen. Thank you for watching.